the online right has reacted to Donald Trump being indicted. And to put it briefly, they are both seething, coping, but mostly molding, but also coping. I feel like the coping is trying to compensate for the molding, trying to act like an ointment or a treatment for the molding, because the molding, you can kind of see it like sizzling under the skin, but they're trying to not let it like bubble out. They're trying to make it like seem like Trump has everything under control. And you want to know what? Maybe he does have everything under control. This looks like somebody who has everything under control. These thugs and radical left monsters have just indicted the 45th president of the United States of America and the leading Republican candidate by far for the 2024 nomination for president. Now, everything past this is all caps. This is an attack on our country, the likes of which has never been seen before. 9/11, nothing. Pearl Harbor, nada. White House getting burned down by the British, worthless. This, greater than them all. It is likewise a continuing attack on our once free and fair elections. The USA is now a third world nation, a nation in serious decline. So sad. You know, when people talk about the decline of economies, when you look at Haiti and you look at the situation Haiti is in right now, you know, with the rioting and the poverty and the corruption, what I have found from all my years studying Haiti is that the tipping point for Haitian politics, where Haiti started going to a point of no return, was when they started to hold their politicians to account. That was when it really got bad. Anyway, back to this. I wanted to go through some TikToks, since we already talked about, you know, some of the political figures and some of the talk show hosts and what they said in reaction to this. I think it's time for us to listen to some real red-blooded Americans and what they have to say about Trump getting indicted. You know, these are people of the land, you know, morons. So we're gonna watch this. Let's start with the first one.
All right, TikTok Patriots, here we are. I'm in the middle of a move right now, moving to my new place, but Donald J. Trump has been indicted. This is it, everybody. This is the moment we've been waiting for. I think it's time that the Patriots come together on this, because this...
Oh, I hate to interrupt him, right, as he's going off talking about how this is the moment, this is the time, this is the hour. We stay hungry, we devour, right? You know, he's having his moment. But if you look at the caption he's put at the top of the screen here as he's talking about this is the moment. Donald Trump indicted. We are in civil war. Not civil war with W-A-R. Civil war. W-R-R-R-R. Now, I imagine he did this in order to get around the TikTok censors, right? But personally, it's hard for me to imagine that somebody is willing to fight a civil war. I mean, like years in the forest, right? You need to be like a forest bandit and like storing guns and food. Like you're losing friends every day. You got to abandon your entire family. You got to be able to live off the earth, know how to clean your gun, maintain your gun, fight a brutal civil war that might take the worst of humanity, the best of humanity from you and make you steep to the worst of humanity. I find it hard to believe that he has the wherewithal to do that if he doesn't have the balls to just spell out the word W-A-R, war.
This is now, to me, this is an act of war, okay? This is the first time in history that a president has been indicted. We know that these charges are false. Stormy Daniels has come out and said that she wants nothing to do with this. So this grand jury that...
Wait, okay, I'm sorry, but that's not how crimes are. That's not how that works. If it was a campaign, this is the accusation that it might have been a misdemeanor. That's one thing. But if this was a campaign finance law violation, then the victim of the crime is not Stormy Daniels in that instance. The victim of the crime would be the American people. So whether she likes the charges or against the charges, her position on it really doesn't matter at this point. Not to mention, why would, and I don't mean to like punch down upon sex workers, but what would also she know about campaign finance law to come to a strong legal opinion about whether Donald Trump should or should not be indicted? Like if it was just about just her case and whether or not she should have gotten the money or not, and it was just that, that'd be one thing, but it isn't just that. He wouldn't be getting indicted if it was just that, assumedly, unless we find out that it really was just all political hacket job.
Has indicted Trump. The statute of limitations were only for 2 years, I believe, or a year. It's been 20 years and now they're bringing up charges. We are in a police state. We are in a communist country. America is the CCP. If
you want to know when we knew that the Soviet Union was communist? It was when they arrested Stalin. You remember that? Remember when they indicted Stalin? That was when we knew that it was truly a communist country.
One, in my eyes, it is Donald J. Trump indicted, arrested. Here we go, guys. Buckle up, Patriots. It's time.
It's time, Patriots. It's time. Time for the next TikTok. Let's see what this one is.
Just like that, the 2024 presidential election has been given to Mr. Donald J. Trump. Thank you to the Manhattan DA and Democrats for making this a possibility. We really, really appreciate your sacrifices.
Dude, I'm sorry. Like, could you... Look, like, I don't know if it's just been that long that nobody remembers, right? I know that a lot of people think that this is political gold, right? That Donald Trump being indicted and having to take a mugshot is actually good. And then they're going to explain the 40 to 50 D chess reason as to why. If we remember back to Comey reopening the investigation into Hillary Clinton, that was a nail in the coffin for her campaign. We didn't know it at the time, but that did shift a lot of people's opinion, or at least enough to garner Donald Trump's victory. Donald Trump in the swing states only won by like 70,000 votes. And you're telling me that that couldn't have had a large enough impact? And to be clear, that investigation found nothing on Hillary. Like, it didn't end up turning up anything. It didn't bring up new charges. The investigation was simply opened and then closed. But simply opening the investigation had an impact on whether or not Hillary Clinton became the next president of the United States. And you're telling me that can have a negative impact on Hillary, but Donald Trump getting indicted and having to take a mugshot photo, and who knows if he's found guilty, that could not possibly have a negative impact on his political campaign? Look, if this is all found to be a big old hatchet job, then yes, it will have a benefit for his political campaign. And this is also why I hope Alvin Bragg, the New York DA, really knows what he's doing. And this isn't just a big political hatchet job. I would hope that the others who voted to go forward with the indictment are voting in favor of something that isn't a political hatchet job. But outside of that one scenario, this is going to be a terrible situation for Trump's campaign. It would be very, very, very difficult for him to turn this around, right? Look, I guess he can sell t-shirts with his mugshot on them, but that t-shirt would equally be bought up by not only his own supporters saying that he's like the new Jesus Christ of Nazareth getting, nailed on the cross, but it would also be bought by wine moms who are happy to see him indicted. Anyway, what's the next one? Let's see the next one. Okay, this guy, this guy's a streamer. You can tell he has the on-air thing in the background. He's got the mic, the whole setup.
You big dummies, y'all indict Trump? Oh man, that was the worst thing you could have just done. Because now not only have you set the stage, you are about to see chaos. And not only that, you just gave everybody a reason to love Trump even more. And open the people's eyes even more. That, oh man, are they screwed? Who would go do such a stupid thing? What a crazy day.
I wonder if like at Waco, when like David Koresh's body was like smoldering in the ruins of Waco, if there was anybody on like the sidelines who was like looking to the ATF agents like, that's what David Koresh wanted all along. You don't understand. This is just like part 7 in his 20-part plan to take over the country. Like, I mean, come on, man. You really he wanted to get arrested? This is a benefit for him to get arrested? Look, here's something I'm just to throw this out here. Trump was fighting so hard against himself being arrested for a reason, right? He wouldn't be fighting so hard against it if he knew it would be negative, if he knew it would be positive for him to get arrested. There's a reason why he's trying to avoid getting indicted, and now he's trying to avoid getting arrested, is because he does not want to have that mugshot of him out there. He doesn't want the possibility of him being found guilty, and he knows that being marked a criminal in public, having the legal charges being placed against you, increases people's belief that, oh shit, you are a criminal. It's one thing to just call somebody a criminal. It's another thing to be indicted for being a criminal. And it's another thing, definitely, if he's found guilty for being a criminal. People can pretend this is like a 20D, 30D chess move, but man, unless Alvin Bragg is literally just found to be the dumbest person on the planet, man, it doesn't look good for Trump.
You got an insurrection happening in Nashville because of the trans people. You got Biden up here laughing.
Okay, so there's an insurrection happening in Nashville because of the trans people. So for those of you who don't know, there were protests at the state capitol of Nashville, where many of them got inside the state capitol building and were yelling at legislators who were trying to leave during a session. I believe like 2 or 3 Democrat politicians also participated in some of the yelling. They yelled at them to increase gun control after the Nashville shooting, after the shooting that killed 3 children and 6 school workers, 3 9-year-old children. It didn't have anything to do with being trans. It had nothing to do with being trans. So I don't know what he even means by trans insurrection.
Laughing at people because of the shooter, right? He didn't really care. Biden, I'm stupid. Press secretary, I mentioned press secretary. You know what I mentioned in my last video. And then you go in and indict Trump. Y'all in big trouble.
Dude, God, man. I wish I could have that confidence. The cops are like taking me away in handcuffs and I'm like, oh no, you don't understand the problem you just started. Oh boy, you're the one in trouble now. You don't it's like round 7 of a boxing match. My face is bloodied, bruised. Other guy like is spotless. Like I'm just like, I'm like barely standing up like, oh boy, I've tired you out now. Any moment now, the tides of this battle, the tides will turn. The tides will turn. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see this one.
Jump in here and address this breaking news. There's a couple stories that came out, and I believe they are all smokescreens. Number 1, breaking news: grand jury votes to indict Donald Trump in New York. Number 2, Pope Francis has a respiratory infection and will need to spend a few days in hospital for. Number 3, Biden says transgender Americans escape our nation's soul in an official proclamation. They want your fucking attention. Why do you think that is? Right now, they're throwing up a smokescreen to keep you distracted. World governments are pro-level at this type of psyop. And given my life experience, I think they want you looking this way so they can drop fucking bombs over here and no one's paying attention. Time's ticking down. Game the fuck on.
Okay, he said because of his world experience. His world experience in what? His world experience in what proves that this is all just a smokescreen? The thing is, I love conspiracies like this. Like, this is just a distraction from this. Is because you could say this about any news event, right? I could say that Sneeko getting into a drama with Charlie Kirk is really meant to distract the world from corruption scandals in Moldova, right? I could say, like, that's a sentence, right? That's an accusation. But until I have some evidence of some like Moldovan politician plotting this, right? Then it means nothing. Like the statement, like Joe Biden saying that transgender Americans help shape the nation's soul. How does that even work as a distraction? It's just a sentence. It's just like a single statement basically saying trans people are okay with me. How is that even a distraction? And how would that be a distraction from bombs? Where are we going to drop the bombs first off? And when are we going to drop? Like what? But he just said, oh, because of my experience, we're going to bomb another country. Which country? And for what reason? And for what motivation? And how would Joe Biden saying transgender Americans shaping our nation's soul, how would that even distract from it? Oh, whatever. Move on. Next person. Game on, apparently. Game on. Let's see this person.
So Trump has been indicted. So we better pay attention to what's going on behind the scenes for a little while, because usually they dangle the carrot over here. So we'll see what they're doing when they're doing something else.
This is just the same thing, but a woman said it this time. This is just the same thing, but shorter and more succinct. Oh boy, my favorite. Love this guy. Love this guy. This is Donald Trump Jr. Let's see what he has to say.
So guys,
I like how he had to have 3 American flags on screen to remind us that he was American.
you still think
we have a equal system of justice. You don't think it's a two-tiered system? I guess you haven't been watching, folks.
Okay, so it's a two-tier system. And how the system works is if you're a liberal, you get off. But if you're a conservative, you get the electric chair.
This is political.
I remember actually, I was being tried for murder. It was due to my involvement in My Lie, of course. And they asked me who I voted for, and I of course said Hillary Rodham Clinton, and they said, but she didn't even run, and I said, yeah, but I'm still with her. And then the judge said, winked at me, and they let me off. Next person said that they voted for Gary Johnson, and he got the electric chair immediately.
Weaponization of our government against its citizens and against political opposition and resistance like we've never seen before. This is the kind of stuff that would make Mao, Stalin, Pol Pot, and other sociopaths blush.
I love this line. I've heard him say this on various different clips, like 3 or 4 times now, that the indictment of Donald Trump would make people like Stalin, Mao, and Pol Pot blush. And you know what? I've been thinking about that statement for a while now. I've been thinking about it the last 24 hours. And when I think of Pol Pot, you know, when Pol Pot comes to mind, the first thing that pops into my mind is the brutality of his indictments. Just the fields and fields and fields of indictments, endless fields of indictments. So I mean, it is a stark comparison.
And it's happening right here in America. The America you know and love is gone. And it's why we need to fight to bring her back. It ain't gonna happen unless you have people who are actual fighters in there. And I think we see that. The witch hunts will continue, the weaponization will continue, and it will never end until we say enough is enough.
What does that even mean? Next one.
They just helped President Trump.
Oh, dude, I remember this guy when Trump lost in 2022. The whole time he was like, nah, don't worry. There's going to be something else that's going to come up. He's going to be president. Don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about it. No. He didn't lose. And he just like, and eventually, like, once it was too late to deny it anymore, once like Trump was, you know, sworn into office, and Trump was not sworn into office. It was Biden sworn into office. He just moved on to the next topic, man. I love this guy for the bold predictions he makes that seems to never come true.
They just helped President Trump. They just made sure that he will be re-elected in 2024. Because if they think this BS is going to stop us from supporting him, they got another thing coming. If you think this BS is going to stop us from standing in line and voting for President Trump and making sure that he will be the next president of these United States of America, you got another thing coming, because we will vote for him again.
You certainly will, whether he's in a cell or not. Okay, next one. This guy seems happy. He seems happy at the news of Donald Trump's indictment.
You guys are good. I step away from my...
Wait, why? Okay, I'm sorry. That looks like a Hawaiian shirt. Is that an American flag stitched on like an American flag patch? No, it doesn't seem like it matches much. Okay, let's continue.
You guys are good. I step away from my house for 3 hours, put my phone on silent. I go to the movies, and you guys, you literally indict a former president over something that is provably false. And
what is... Dude, everybody keeps saying it's provably false, but they have yet to prove that is false. Like, dude, the New York District Attorney would love to hear what you have to say.
This is a win.
This is a win.
I guess
this is a win, man. It's a win, man. It's a win. It's a W. It's a W. Dude, I am obviously excited. For example, if I was sitting at home and I was eating food and I saw my father taken out in handcuffs, I'd be like, this is a W. You don't see it yet, but in the long run, this is obviously a W.
and close up shop now, right? No longer a constitutional republic. We are a banana republic now.
Banana republic.
Where it's totally fine to go after on complete bullshit, right? Complete bullshit.
The thing is, by the way, the case has not even been really revealed to everybody. Like, all the evidence has not been revealed. What the prosecution's going to be saying about, like, hey, we're putting the story together has not been revealed. None of that has been revealed to the public yet. So when people say, oh, this is provably false, they're just lying. They're just lying to you because they don't even know what the case is, right? This would be like I say, this person committed this crime, and before I've even shown you the evidence, you say, that's lie, it's provably false, impossible. You haven't even let me show the evidence yet, and you're already saying it's impossible. They're walking back from their conclusion.
Charges that have been proven false. We're going to indict a former U.S. president on some bullshit. Because it's not political persecution of our, front-running opposition party, right? That would never happen. We wouldn't do that. You guys, I don't think you guys understand. You think this is a win. It's not. This makes you guys look very, very bad. And I'm excited to see where this goes next. I think the photo op you guys are waiting for, we're also waiting for, because we are going to monetize the shit out of it. Stay tuned.
Oh, dude, I feel like I'm sorry. He thinks this makes him look good. It does not make him look good to be in a prison cell. He's not Nelson Mandela, man. He's not Tupac Shakur. He is not Muhammad Ali dodging the... Like, what... by the way, can I just say, I'm sick of fake laughs and videos.